Searching for you. I'm still searching for you. From dirt to the sky, I'm still searching for you.
Wake the fuck up, samurai. We have a city to burn.
You disgust me.
Who gives a shit?
Go on.
I made it the fuck up. I'm dead. I'm dead. I'm dead. I'm dead. I'm dead. It's glorious! And I run. Just for fun, 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 just for fun,
I'm sorry. I couldn't resist.
just for fun, 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 just for fun.
Hello, everybody out there in YouTube land, and welcome to what probably seems like the most delayed Tuesday with Geeks ever. Because, what is it, like almost 3 weeks we hadn't run this show? Because of various things popping up.
Sorry.
It happens. It happens. But that's okay. We're here. We made it.
Castor's too busy painting the space elves.
Yeah, I know. Until the thing went dark on him.
Now, to be fair, actually the space elves I think are all done.
Mm-hmm. Oh, Hunter's having some mic problems, so he'll be back. Look at that. Those are not bad, buddy.
3D printed some of these. Well, actually, all of these, but yeah, still space elves. My little kill team is done.
Some of them look a little bit like Dragon Ball Z figures. Just the
I'll
colors.
send you some pictures later.
Okay. All right. Well, it has been a while since we have been here for Tuesday, but yeah, we've all got some show and tell. It looks like I have quite a bit. I know that Das Wolfen has some. Do you have any, Caster? I mean, or was that your show and tell?
No, actually, I think I'm basically pretty good for tonight. I don't have anything too special to show off unless you want to see a bed I assembled.
I'm good. I'm good, thanks. I'm not a, it's not
Or
a pop
or how
culture
about the
furnishing show.
how about the generic Space Marine that I painted?
I'm
Nah.
good. I'm good. Das, why don't you go ahead and start off with you?
Okay. Forgive the background. I'm going to shut off my visual effect here.
Yeah, because otherwise the green screen won't let you see what you're showing.
Yeah. So first of all, is we had the guest on about a month ago,
Oh yeah.
and I got my copy, and it looks cool. It's definitely got that old school vibe to it,
Yeah, it
like
does.
a proper OSR should. But apparently, this module's supposed to. It works for both Shadow Dark and DCC, which means I can adapt it for any OSR clone. But it's a gauntlet module made for like 8 to 12 zero level characters, run by up to 6 people.
I like gauntlet style stuff for some reason. The appeal of basically running what amounts to a strainer for characters.
Yeah. But
Nothing like a
no,
good old
it's
tunnel.
Yeah.
it's pretty good, and I can adapt it for other stuff. So it's definitely got some good bones to it.
Mhm.
And the other thing I got is it's called Here's Assemble. It's a 5e Supers book that's definitely got some callback to Mutants and Masterminds.
That actually looks really, really good. That looks pro. I wonder how come I hadn't heard of this.
Yeah, they did good job on the layout. The artwork's pretty good.
And it's level based.
Yeah, it's 5th edition, but it's I haven't had much time to go through it, but yeah, it's using 5th edition for the rules, and they got like this typical stuff. You got human, augmented human, mutant, outlander, which is like your Superman, and
Who is this by?
it's Belzan Games. Belazan Games.
I don't think I've heard of them.
Yeah, I hadn't either, but the stuff they were showing me looked pretty cool. So I was, and it was like $49, I think. So I was like, yeah, I can back that.
Yeah, Devil, you're right. Yeah, zero level funnels are fun, especially if you can lean into making the deaths cartoonishly gruesome.
Oh yeah,
absolutely. That's the fun.
But yeah, those are my new. That's my new stuff.
That's really cool stuff, man. I like it. I have I've kind of gotten a few things myself. Mostly they were just kind of birthday gifts to myself. So, but what the hell? It's like, when nobody else is buying you any, you got to buy yourself some just to have fun.
Yeah.
So here's what I got. First off, if you want to just, cry your eyes out a lot, so I got every Made in Abyss collection that there is that's currently out.
I believe Dash was recommending this a while back.
It's a really, really good anime. It's insanely good. It's only on High Dive. But yeah, the story is so good. In fact, it's so good that it will just crush your heart into a little ball and kick it down the street. The characters are just absolutely wonderful, and when people die in this, it is horrible and gruesome, and you will shed really big, ugly tears.
Is it Grave of the Firefly soul crushing?
This is worse in some ways.
Really?
I mean, Grave of the Fireflies is soul crushing because it's reality, more or less, right?
Yeah.
This is soul crushing because they invest you so heavily into the characters and then they just absolutely do horrible, horrible things to them to the point where you're just going, please stop this. But I highly recommend it. It's got some really cool characters in it. I love Nanachi especially. I honestly recommend it. If you don't buy the original DVDs, get you a month subscription to High Dive and binge watch the shit out of it. There's going to be more of these in the future because the series isn't over yet, but I liked it so much that I actually want to keep this on my shelf. So,
How many seasons are there?
there are 2 actual seasons, right? Which is just the regular Made in Abyss, and then there's the Golden City of the Scorching Sun. However, the theatrical collection includes one that wasn't released, which is Dawn of the Deep Soul, which, Dawn of the Deep Soul is horrifying. It's so... I can't really describe it. I mean, it's like you'll love the characters, and you'll just hate the way they die. But I like it. It's a good series. I will definitely watch more of it when it comes out. But I also got some other cool stuff, which is why I am glad Ironcaster is here tonight. Because you know what that means.
Is it time for Piss the North Star?
Close. By the way, on your recommendation, yes, I did create a top 10. So there will be a video, I don't know, in the next few coming weeks.
Good man.
Yes, but coming out of China, we have Joy Toy. These are kind of like the latest and newest things. I haven't even opened these yet because this is in a package where if you open it, it's open forever kind of thing, which I don't like. But these are they're 1/25th scale. This is one of their Fear pilot, who's pretty cool because you can actually glue some of these things in.
Oh, really?
What?
Oh, I was gonna say it looks like I think it was, what was it, Jiro, where the guys were like all armored up, rocking through the sewers.
Jinro,
yeah.
I was getting some vibes at it, but I couldn't remember the name of the series.
Yeah,
Exactly.
Yeah, it is very much like Jinro. That particular one, that's the Night Raid guys. And then I actually got this, which goes with him. I had to buy them separately because they don't sell them together. But this is a brand new Fear XS01 Night Raid type, and dude, it's cool as a fool. First off, it is a mecha, so the guy can climb into it, but it's kind of set up Ghost in the Shell style, where he gets into the pod in the back, and the mech itself just has tons of articulation. It's got like a little mini bike that goes with it that also incorporates itself into the mecha. Dude,
Now,
Joy Toys.
Does it have a number of accessory ports?
Yeah, kind of. I mean, you can mix and match some of the stuff around on it. It's got a full set of instructions. It's even got a base that you can set it on if you want to display it.
Cool.
The best figures often come with their own base.
Mm-hmm. But this is really neat. Unfortunately, I ordered 2 of them. So I have a second one with another Night Raid pilot coming. So I need to figure out something to do with that second one. I hate eBay, but perhaps a loyal viewer or something will give me a little bit of money for it, and be happy to ship it to them. Just a thought when I actually get it. And then, yes, you called it. I did order one, and this is 21st scale, which is actually almost the same size as the Joy Toy guys. But when they showed me pictures of this, I didn't believe how big it was. But yeah, it's really that small. I mean, gotta find the edge of the corner here. You can tell we do this live. We don't, We don't pre-do any of this crap. No, it's all live, so we can actually show you how fucking hard it is to open these things on air. But yeah, that is a super duper detailed, articulated Kenshiro figure. And as you can see, it's like, this is one of my fingers compared to... But it's got interchangeable head, it's got interchangeable hands, it's got a base down here you can pose him on. It's got like the got the Hyakuretsu no Ken. So you can beat the hell out of Zed with it. It's just, this is so cool. And they're doing a whole line of these. They're selling them for really expensive prices, which is kind of the downside. But that level of detail is insane for a figure that's that small. I mean, look at this shit. It's like literally, they're pretty much the same size.
Just a tad bit smaller.
Yeah, just a tad bit smaller.
So what you're saying is we are going to have to get some like epic action shots of Kenshiro fighting a giant robot.
Yeah, I mean, why not? He fought a tank in the anime. Why not having why not have him kicking a mech's ass?
Going to have to start working on your stop motion movie career.
Maybe so. Maybe that's the way I should do it. Fund all this with stop motion movies. But I've only bought a couple so far. I'm not getting super duper deep in this. Thankfully, there's not a whole bunch of these right now, so it's not horrifyingly expensive to get into.
Right now being the optimal phrase.
Yeah. Well, the stuff coming up is even cooler because they've got Souther and Shu coming out with the pyramid that you can drop on Shu. It's got Yuda and Rei, who's all stricken white. And they already have Heart and Shin sold as a set, and usually that's going for about $80. And they have Kokuo and Raoh. So that's a big set too. But yeah, on an individual basis, this is pretty cool stuff. And I don't know how many of these figures they're actually going to produce, but out of all of the Fist of the North Star figure lines I've seen, the only one that is probably better than these little digi-action ones is the Medicos line, which I only found out about today. And those puppies are like starting at $68, but the scalpers have them boosted as high as $120. So, they will get you. But yeah, there you go. Yeah, and I hold you completely responsible for this, Ironcaster, because you're the one who got me into toys again. I wasn't buying this stuff until you.
I have nothing but the best intents.
Yeah. I can't afford this kind of stuff, but every once in a while, for fun. All right. Well, I don't recall any particular news of interest this week. Did you? I mean, have you seen anything?
Go ahead, Iron. I'll let you go first.
Okay. So the biggest things that I took notice of this week were a new Dawn of War trailer that just got announced today.
So they got a new Dawn of War 4?
Yes.
Because they just released a Dawn of War that was basically all of the old Dawn of Wars except for Dawn of War 2. And it's all combined into one mega set. And they sold that to me for like $18. And I said, yeah, sure, why not? And the graphics weren't necessarily that much upgraded.
Well, that's exactly what it is. That was just like an HD remaster, and they used that to get around and then further market Dawn of War 4, which has basically been met with like just total fanfare. People are excited for it. In fact, I think there's even a trailer for it.
Yeah, there is.
I haven't seen it. I haven't seen the trailer, but Dawn of War 3 was a huge disappointment.
This looks like it goes back to This looks like it goes back to Dawn of War 1 and 2 play, as opposed to the way 3 plays. Plus, you can play Adeptus Mechanicus.
Ed says, "Do either of you buy custom-made figs?" Not really. I mean, I'm mostly out of the toy market. I just kind of buy stuff every once in a while when I find something I like. Which right now is I like the Joy Toy line. I like the Digi Action line. I might end up spending some money on the Medicos line. I hate to, but I don't want to buy any more G.I. Joe Classified if I don't have to. But there's still some G.I. Joe Classified I like, and I'm finding it real difficult not to spend money on it. But,
as much as I would like to, I recently did buy a 3D printer for myself so I can just make myself like action figure stuff whenever I want, which, has got me kind of rethinking a lot of the FOMO of all this stuff. It's like, yeah, that looks cool, but could I just print that up whenever I want?
Mm-hmm.
Yes, you can.
The problem is, Edward, I don't think Caster or I, or probably even Doss, has like the kind of, disposable income to spend tons and tons of money on this stuff. Like, somebody who doesn't bat an eye at dropping, $300 on a Hiss tank or something. So.
I mean, I'll still buy my little toys now and then. I gotta get my little Common America.
Yeah, I mean, that's kind of all I do. Yeah, exactly.
Nice.
Yeah.
But I mean, beyond that, there are some lines I do enjoy, like the 30-Minute Sisters, and some of those, like the Mecha Girl. It's like, oh yeah, I can have a little demon girl also looking over the desk and kind of judge me with her pitchfork.
So Edward says, I've seen people order custom figs with their faces painted on, or faces on them as Captain America or the Hulk. Yeah, I've seen that too. There's Andy Masterson does a lot of that stuff.
Yep. In fact, I saw today actually. He went and made a custom Hunter Biden for Chrissy Mayer, and basically he was doing them for like $150, and someone was selling that for like $250.
Mm-hmm. I believe it. He's good too. He's real good. I remember he did the Az figure that looks like Az from Heels versus Babyface.
My favorite he's done is his Mexican Iron Man line, where he just puts Mike in all these different costumes, including one where I think he's like got a little Alf doll, and I think he did one where Mike is jumping out the window.
Why would Mike have the Alf doll? Shouldn't that be Tom?
But it's the torture Mike.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
And the best part is it then got sent to Mike, and Mike can't throw it away, so now he has to have this little version of himself with an Alf doll who he hates.
Oh my gosh. I miss all of our friends who do all that kind of stuff. I miss Mexican Iron Man, and I want Stone Loki back on this channel, and I want Tom to come back on. I want all these dudes to come back and hang out with us again and bullshit with us, but I don't know. They're busy. We're busy.
Like so I'm still streaming with Loki on Tuesdays before the show, so just reach out to him and see if we can figure it out.
I do all the time. Maybe we can get him on for something, because I love Stone Loki.
I'm thinking about starting like a Monday lunch hour stream myself. Just since I'm off on Mondays, I don't do anything else. So
do it.
I would recommend it, Hunter, just because you got to kind of get a nice little rhythm, get your own little show going. You can make it about what you want.
Yeah, I mean, I'm trying to get stuff recorded because I'm doing like 2 different solo game series, so I'm trying to have that to at least if each Friday or at least every other Friday if something happens at the moment. But I think just every now and then, maybe like the Monday lunch hour with the Ultra American and friends, something like that. Who knows?
And plus, it would be a chance for you to talk about some of this old stuff and see if it holds up with it without the rose-colored glasses.
Oh, and Ed's taken us down a path of interesting questions here. So to get more insight into the mini market, do you think that TTRPG should start using a larger size?
Like larger size minis?
I mean, as opposed to what?
They've already went from 20, 25 to 28, now 32.
Yeah.
Is standard.
Well, the 32 is more because of using Warhammer models. And also, some of the War Machine stuff, which, by the way, here's one I just printed up the other day.
No, this is the real reason why they went to 32. Because of, Kingdom Death Monster minis.
I don't see the point for minis when half the stuff I've used in in-person games in the past to represent like monsters and stuff. I just gotta have my Lego box.
Well, I mean, that's a perfectly acceptable way to go. But the other thing you got to remember is like a lot of this goes back to the origins of the hobby. It's been so much was tied to like actual wargaming. So it was like, oh, we got to have like the British versus the French in like a with our knights fighting. Then it slowly evolved out of that.
You'd like to see 2.5. So basically, you want to see this size because this is about 2.5 inches. For TTRPGs, that would get really cumbersome. Plus, your really big monsters would get really expensive really quickly.
Well, in the 80s, we used to like make tabards and stuff for the G.I. Joe figures and use them as miniatures for D&D games.
Yeah, but G.I. Joes are back then, I should say, were relatively cheap.
Yeah.
Nowadays, I mean, it's like, $32.
Yeah, I made the mistake of going to the G.I. Joe Classified.
Oh, boy.
Yeah, I'm like, I could start getting... Now I'm like, no. My wife would kill me.
No. You get your couple of figures you like, keep that character or two you do enjoy, but then you don't start army building. Otherwise, you are going to be going in debt for like $25 action figures.
The only thing I'm collecting from G.I. Joe Classified anymore is the Sergeant Slaughter figures, and that's where I'm drawing the hard line. Or maybe the bats, because I really like the bats also. Yeah, we had D&D action figures back then, and some of the monster toys were awesome. Yeah, I remember those. And I remember the specific module where you could use those, or where they were featured, which was... oh my god, now it's gone out of my head. It's like the heart of something or other, but damn, I can picture the cover because it has Warduke and it has Strongheart the Paladin on it. But yeah, there was a D&D basic module that had them, I think, or was it advanced? I don't remember. But
Strongheart, yeah, that's all came out of first edition, advanced.
Yeah,
because you had Strongheart, you had Warduke, you had I forgot what the evil necromancer's name was.
Kelek,
and you had the dwarf, and you had
Oakheart or Oak something or other.
I think Oakheart sounds right.
And you had the elf, which actually had two different names. One, it was released as Melf the elf, and the other it was Paralay. And God, I'm showing my age. Quest for the Heartstone. That was the name of the module.
Yeah, that's it.
That was it. Quest for the Heart. And it had a bunch of the figures as characters that I hadn't even seen before, like Deeth and all these other guys who I didn't see as figures until later on when they were going out of arrow or going out of stock. But anyway, yeah, figures have always had a heart-shaped gem. Yeah, that was Quest for the Heartstone.
Yeah.
Well, it's kind of a perfect segue to what I was going to talk about, because why buy plastic? Well, you can now crochet them with WotC's newest Dungeons and Dragons book.
Oh, dear God.
Oh, yeah, I saw that.
Which I find it ironic, being that the last thing that TSR tried to do before they fell on their own sword was try to do like a needlework company.
Are you serious?
Yeah. A lot of this I've learned. There's a podcast out there called When We Were Wizards, and it goes over the entire history of Gary Gygax and the Rise and Fall TSR. And they mentioned like during like the last year or so of TSR, when Gary was trying to keep everything afloat, he tried to start a needleworking section of the company.
We have our talk has summoned a Driving with Dragons.
What's up? What's up?
What's up? We started talking about Gygax, and here you are.
Oh yeah, you summoned me. Summon the dragon.
We were talking about the new Dungeons and Dragons crochet book they released, and I brought up how TSR tried to do a needlework company before they fell on their own sword.
Well, I mean, they're just grasping at every straw they can possibly grasp at. And they're desperately trying to turn it into a brand, like into it. It's already a brand, but they're just desperate to turn it into some kind of lifestyle brand. And basically, it's like a yogurt started running Hasbro.
Yeah, Yeah, I mean, well, I mean, they always kind of were, though. I mean, even back then, it's like Gygax had, Dungeons and Dragons Shrinky Dinks and all these other things. They wanted to be able to make jackets and sweatshirts with embroidery. Yeah. But
I
yeah.
mean, there's no reason to not brand everything you can and to do that and to try and sell it. And that ampersand is the most valuable thing they own.
Yep.
And D&D beach towel. I believe it.
The thing is, they have been making a large push to go for the wider, mass media franchise.
Mm-hmm.
With that, we're going to see a D&D slapped on everything from lunchboxes to crochet books. You're not going to be able to go into like Michael's or Joanne Fabrics without finding something D&D.
Yeah. Now, if they had tried to push that book like a couple years back when I was in high school, it probably would have been better off because for some reason when I was in high school, all the girls were crocheting for some reason. I don't know what started that, but at least whenever there was downtime, when it was like study hall, whatever, I saw girls with their knitting needles and the large ball of the string, and they were just crocheting whatever they were wanting to make at the time.
Hey, I think that's cool as hell myself. I kind of wish they would bring that stuff back because the kids these days need to learn these skills. That's just
I got a player who crochets at the table while we're playing.
That's cool. I actually
beats the hell out of a cell phone.
Well, I mean, I've heard of fighters who actually do needlepoint and then crocheting and sewing and all that stuff, so that they don't the calluses on their knuckles and stuff don't make them lose flexibility in their fingertips from punching.
That's interesting.
Yep.
I mean, this is ultimately part of this, like I said, this attempt to rewrite and redefine what is D&D. And I think the ultimate idea is going to be largely what you're seeing currently going on with Magic, which is virtually every other set that's coming out has been some sort of licensed property. We've got Spider-Man coming out right now, which is out, and I guess they're already kind of moving past it because the next set they're already talking about doing is Avatar: The Last Airbender, which is coming up next. Ultimately, it is sort of a loss of the original identity to basically make it a blank mannequin you can go and put any license over top of and take away the original identity.
Yeah.
So I think within the next 5 years we're gonna see a larger push of those licensed works into D&D. We've already seen it with like Stranger Things and Rick and Morty. There was a testing ground there because those were kind of niche, but I think you're going to see, like I said, in the next 5 years, you're going to see them take that idea from Magic and push that into D&D because ultimately they do want to make it a billion-dollar brand.
Yeah. Now you brought up Avatar. Go ahead, Daniel.
As I said, and that absolutely tracks because from the very early days, Monty Cook has said it himself. Very early days when Wizards first bought D&D, that was the directive that was handed down from the powers that be. Before Hasbro even bought them, it was you will magicify D&D. You will run D&D. Run Dungeons and Dragons the way we run Magic the Gathering, because Magic the Gathering was so powerful and successful and over the top in terms of how it printed money. It still prints money. And that gave them the ability to buy Dungeons and Dragons. And they just said, hey, we're going to do the same thing. Find a way to work in the power creep. Find a way to work in the stuff that makes you always need to buy the next set. Target the players instead of the game masters, because for every game master, there's 5 or 6 players. Find reasons that they need to buy the stuff and then monetize the players. That is, Wizards has always done that with Magic. And so goes Magic, also goes D&D.
And I think the thing that makes it different now is thanks to the internet culture, thanks to all the social media stuff, they're in the best position, even with all the hiccups we've had thanks to the OGL. We've been hearing a lot of talk about them kind of going around and trying to do a bunch of the like apology tour type stuff. But they are ultimately best positioned now to make that shift, I think. You look around, people are going to be playing D&D regardless. Think what Professor DM just put out a video today talking about the top played games at Gen Con, and the top one by far is still D&D. Yes,
of course it is.
we sit here, we complain about the the OGL and all these faux pas that the company has done, justified, not what have you. The big thing is the player turnover. The 11-year-olds that are coming in now have no idea what an OGL even is. That's old to them. That's 2 years ago. That's like 20 years in internet terms.
I don't know. People still remember that pretty strongly to this day.
Right.
Still,
but Hunter, again, it's about the question of those kids that are coming in for the first time.
that is true.
Yeah,
It's-
they don't even.
also
They don't
have
know. They can't. They don't know what Dragonlance or Ravenloft are.
Yeah,
Much
absolutely.
less all that other stuff.
Yeah, you just got to keep in mind one thing too. I used a term in my last video. And I said that I said the non-intelligentsia because it was intelligence as a dumb stat. But we are essentially part of the TTRPG intelligentsia. We're the inner party. We're the people who are in it all day. We see it. We see the minor news. 80 to 90% of that D&D player base, which is the ones bringing in a lot of the new players, they couldn't tell you a castle and crusade from a tunnel and troll. They barely even know what Shadow Dark is, and Mork sounds like what happens after they eat too many Cheetos at the table. Okay, they don't know any of that stuff. They know Dungeons and Dragons.
Right. Plus, you got to remember, a lot of us we've moved out of being the primary customer because we're not buying books, but the thing is though, the marketing, the brand, stickiness is one of the best things ever because people who don't play either hobby games at least know and recognize Dungeons and Dragons. And Edward to be one step ahead there, they're actually already on top of stuff like that. We've seen some marketing like this last year.
Okay.
T-shirt, if you'd be so kind as to just show the screen.
Yep.
We have a modern D&D pinball machine, which has all.
Oh yeah, I've seen that.
They went all out for the market on this thing. They're bringing in like Matt Mercer and Patton Oswalt and all these other big D&D celebrities to come and do voice lines for this thing. About $8,000, by the way.
Okay, Ed.
That's just the base model. There'll be a limited edition that's about 13.
So
if it goes like other.
One thing you brought up.
It is right here, actually.
What?
The Pro version, the Premium version, or the Limited edition. I just had to scroll down.
Yeah.
Okay, so Ed, you said D&D slot machines, e-poker, keychains, and Big Light. I don't necessarily think that so much, but I have a list for you. So here you go. These are currently available Dungeons & Dragons branded merchandise, which are non-gamer materials. We have t-shirts and hoodies. We have socks. We have keychains and pins. We have Hype Dungeons & Dragons D&D logos, socks, men's crew, 2 pair of packs. We have Dungeons & Dragons gift for men and women, funny keychains and D&D jewelry keychains. We have, for home goods and decor, we have mugs and drinkware that are D&D themed. We have Dungeons & Dragons blankets. Some of them are shaped like D20s.
Merchandise.
I mean, seriously, clocks and wall decor. Miscellaneous decor items like dragon resin wood night lights, collectibles like action figures and statues from NECA, 50th anniversary Elkhorn, that's the name of the guy.
Yeah.
Strongheart, Warduke, and Zarak, and these are all 7-inch scale. Pop-up books, coins, ingots. And I mean, that's just a selection of non-gaming D&D merchandise that's currently available. There's specific items and their availability varies depending on the retailer and online vendor. And many of these items are available from Amazon, Etsy, and specialty stores like Merchoid and Box Lunch.
Stamps.
I will personally support, buy, and distribute to the modern D&D player base the official Cover Your Dragon D&D condoms to ensure that they don't breed.
I mean, actually, if I was a smart motherfucker, you know what I would do? I would create an official licensed set of D&D slipcase book covers that have like all like erudite looking illustrations and stuff on them as official Dungeons and Dragons book covers to protect your books, and people would buy them.
You're showing your age, man.
I
You
am.
are absolutely showing your age. What you need is a Chromebook cover because that's what they get now. You don't even get
that
like
too.
kids don't even have to fold up an old paper sack from the Sack and Suds to cover their textbooks anymore. They just cart around a damn tablet.
Yeah. Edward says lifestyle branding doesn't sound like tourist brick. Of course it does, because it is. That's exactly the point. They're trying to pull people in who aren't regular players, who are tourists. That's what they want. They want to keep the fan base expanding, and they hook them in with crap that, people might buy just as a lifestyle brand. Oh, I have it, so I'm cool.
You also want to remember what a tourist is. What is a tourist? A tourist doesn't live here. A tourist doesn't have a house. A tourist comes and visits and then goes away short term. And that's a great word for what they're targeting. They want that guy who's going to be interested in D&D for about 6 months to a year, and they want him to spend as much money as possible in the 6 months that he's obsessed with D&D. They want him wearing all the drip. They want him having all the stuff, and they want it piled up in the back corner of his junk closet until he's 47.
And the thing is, if they were smart, what they really should do in terms of just merchandising marketing, they need to look at the trends that have happened with the likes of the Stanley Cup and the Labubus going on now. These are marketed and geared towards women who are more oriented towards this sort of status symbol status symbol item of the week. There's always been these trends that are around, and you can go look at the guy who was I believe the former CEO of Crocs. He was the guy who managed to make the Stanley Cup the big thing. But for my own personal preference, I wish they would. I honestly think the smart money would be to do limited re-releases of the Player's Handbook with new variant covers. Because you look at Dungeon Crawl Classics, they sell all kinds of variant covers.
Yeah, they do.
Smart thing would be to re-release all the old editions as new and updated, not changed in terms of, hey, 100% in its original format. Put whatever disclaimer you want to put in the front. Warning: this book has naughty words. But new covers, new art, that kind of thing. Hey, this is the re-release of the original game. This is the re-release. Go in there and sell all official versions of all the old stuff that you already own the rights to. Why do you care with print on demand, and you don't have to have 10 million of these in stock anymore? Why not facilitate people who maybe get into the game and are interested in seeing where it came from, interested in a different version, and instead of them going and buying the reprint from drive-thru or buying the knockoff copy, I swear to God, this is not D&D, but it's all the same rules as D&D that's being put out by, a YouTuber. Why not just buy directly from us, the people you already trust?
Well, the issue might have to do with some sort of. The issue might have to come down to some sort of royalties issue with certain things from those early editions.
Well, I mean, they own the licenses and everything. But let me get some other chat stuff in the way right here. Magnificent Devil, as always, great point. WotC doesn't want to print books because books aren't very profitable. They will either push to move it all online or they will license it out like other Hasbro properties. They want to just sell merch. Yeah.
I would happily go and buy a little just to show off my OSE. If I was still playing 5e, I would want to buy little corner protectors that'll have the little D&D ampersand.
Yeah, that would be a big sell, actually. Yang Zenzao. Yep. Says Dungeons and Dragons is to TTRPGs is what Xerox is to copiers or Kleenex is to facial tissue. Yeah, pretty much. Yang says, I hear what you guys are saying, but how do you attract new players then? That's always the question, isn't it? I myself try to attract players by doing live plays on the air. Showing people game systems that are not D&D, that are still fun and enjoyable, and more or less easy to play. I mean, mostly I've been running Kevin Crawford stuff, but honestly, as Ironcaster, you've been playing with me the longest from all this stuff. Have you had any difficulty picking up any of the systems I've been running?
No, it's all super easy to pick up. Yeah, I might forget, after like between 2 weeks, how do I do skill rolls again? And then, within like 1 second, I get it back.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, the one system I do want to get around to playing, and I still haven't yet, is Godbound.
Oh, really?
Like,
I could run a Godbound.
My issue with that one is I need to at least do like a little one shot just to kind of wrap my head around it, and then I'll be good to go for running, demigod games.
Yeah, Godbound, you really have to have players who want to do stuff and know what they're doing and want to exercise their powers, because you're literally so powerful that it's like, mundane challenges cannot affect you. I mean, armies can't stand up against you.
I think one of the big problems, and kind of an answer to that question about how do you attract new players and stuff, when you're talking about a lot of these games, is everything in the universe has gotten cheaper except marketing. So a lot of these people that come in, they come in on a shoestring budget. They put everything into the product and they try and put it out there, and they rely way too much on guerrilla and viral marketing, which has the benefit of being extraordinarily low cost. But if the right people don't catch you at the right time and push you the right way, it doesn't do anything. It's not as effective as direct traditional marketing, which is unfortunately extraordinarily expensive. And you're always going to get pushed out by the people who do have those traditional marketing budgets. So I think one thing that needs to happen is a lot of these indie games need to do a lot more traditional marketing. They should be sending free copies to dungeon tubers and stuff like that. And it's like, if you have more than, say, 5,000 followers, or if you're getting more than a certain number of watches on your live streams or videos, you should never be paying for one of these indie games. They should want you to talk about them.
Well,
and that's a marketing expense.
The only problem with that, Daniel, is Kelsey did that with Shadow Dark, and all the big names in our side of the hobby chewed her out over it. So what's the difference there?
And they may have chewed her out over it, but guess what? Did it affect what happened to Shadow Dark sales? Did they disappear? Mm-hmm. Did I miss something where Shadow Dark didn't sell any books?
No.
We're definitely not going to hold up Shadow Dark did it as an example of why it's a bad idea.
I'm not saying it's a bad idea. I'm just saying was trying to understand, because you said people need to get it out into people's hands, and yet I recall when Kelsey did that, people got onto her for it. So that just came in my mind when you were bringing that up. I'm not saying it's a bad idea at all. I agree with it.
Well, haters are going to hate, dude. But here's the thing. I mean, this is the bottom line, and I'm 100% serious with this. Every video I have dropped that has Shadow Dark in it gets a ton of views. Every time I have Chubby Funster on the channel, that show gets a ton of views because I'm doing stuff that's directly for Shadow Dark. Anytime I have somebody on the channel who is making stuff for Shadow Dark, it gets noticed, and it gets noticed big time. Shadow Dark is not going away.
So what you're saying is we should maybe consider running a session with it, just to give it a few.
I want to. I desperately want to run or play a Shadow Dark game. I'm trying to kind of gently coax Grimm into doing it. But I also do want to play his Machinations of the Space Princess game, because that's his line. That's the line I am writing for, have written for, and am invested in. So I don't know that, Space Princess will ever be as popular as like even Lamentations of the Flame Princess, but still, I mean, it's one of his best lines, and he needs to promote it more. And speaking of that, I might also add that James Edward Radji IV, Hunter, sends out free copies of his books to guys like Grimm and other reviewers to check out his stuff and show it off on his channel. So he does incur that particular monetary penalty, but he's still around. He's still got a niche product. his kind of stuff probably won't be sold on regular store shelves, or at least not without, a plastic wrap around it. But still, he's out there. He's still making stuff. He's still in business. So
No, I can't see too many stores wanting to have fecal lands on their shelf when it's literal shit.
how about Don't Fuck the Priest?
Didn't he have what was it, like a Vagina is Magic or something like that?
Yes, Vaginas Are Magic. Yes, that is the title of one of his books. And he gave that away for free. And it wasn't like a little shitty print either. It was a nice hardback. I know, because I have 2 copies of it. That and the other one about cocks. But
So, back to the topic and the question of how do you market to new people? You got the target audience, at least that seems to be really into it or wanting to get into it, seems to be about 11, 12 years old. That, right in that preteen era. And so you got to kind of look at what they want to check out. And in a lot of cases, it tends to be something that's aimed at being a little older than that. So we're talking the teenage stuff. It's that kind of cusp on what's been kind of held away and made to be somewhat taboo. It's like, okay, well, I can go play in Dungeons and Dragons and see all the magic in it, and all that game that that we were told was dangerous. If there was a reverse effect to the marketing there, which tends to work, but also you look around and see what's all going on. There are a lot of prominent live streams, like was it Legends of Avanus?
Avantris,
Ooh.
yeah.
Yes, they're the ones that have the shorts with like Chuckles the Clown and Bitsy the Mouse.
Yeah.
I've never heard of them.
Not quite as big as Critical Role, but still, their YouTube channel has like 2.5 million.
They're popular enough that they've been making the rounds. They recently put out their own. It's like their own folklore campaign book called Crooked Moon, which they did for both 2014 and 2024 editions of the game, and they've been around for like several years now. They started off by doing a gender bent Curse of Strahd campaign where it was Count Stradania instead of just Count Strahd.
Okay, well, guys, hang on.
Funny.
All right. So guys like Edward, guys like Yang, guys like Magnificent Devil, guys like Daniel, guys like Das, us older guys, I'm pretty sure I'm speaking for most of us whenever I say this, but what got us into D&D way back when, and I'm talking about the 80s for me, but what got us into this stuff was the fact that it was kind of forbidden fruit. It was a niche hobby. It was demonized by people, by the mainstream. It was like forbidden fruit. It was like the stuff of, it was dangerous, so of course you want to check it out and see, why is this so dangerous? Why is this so, negative? Why do people hate this so much? What's so scary about it? And that was kind of my first reason to start seeking it out and looking at it, is the fact that it was a niche culture. It was a niche market. It was kind of a forbidden thing. And it was kind of like a more tightly knit little group, because we didn't have an internet. So back then it was kind of like,
there was no greater. I was saying there was no greater marketing. There was never any greater marketing for the Dungeons and Dragons brand than the Satanic Panic. The Satanic Panic had Congress talking about Dungeons and Dragons.
And
you don't get bigger than that. It was everywhere.
Yeah, and at that time we only had D&D, marketing in the back of comic books and stuff. So whenever we did actually get our hands on all this forbidden fruit, we either had to share it with very close friends that we trusted to join us in our game, or we had to go make that trip out to the hobby store and ask around, that guy behind the counter. It's like, hey, is there anybody else playing this? And, and they'd happily point you to, their little table in the back where guys were smoking and stuff and rolling dice. I mean, that was early D&D, and that's why it caught on.
It's like buying steroids at the gym. You got to go find that guy that's probably a little older than you're supposed to be talking to, looks a little sketchy. He's got some D20s and a fanny pack back in the corner. You got what you need.
Yeah. But now, D&D is readily available to everybody. You can buy it in fucking Walmart or wherever, and the mysticism behind it is gone. The mystique of it is gone. I mean, it's on your shoes, it's on your keychains, it's on your bathroom slippers and beach towels, and pretty soon you're going to be having dog sweaters, and it's in your Crocs and everything else. It's in the movie theaters. It's so mainstream now and so easily available that it's kind of like it's not really a forbidden fruit anymore. It's just kind of like a niche hobby that's accepted, and it's lost a lot of its mystique because of that. So the real trick is trying to teach people that D&D is not the only game out there, that there's better stuff out there that's available right now and is more creative and still has all that forgotten nasty mystique, whether it be, Lamentations of the Flame Princess or something, more horrible or even old school. I mean, hell, try introducing new players to an old ass game of Traveler.
I'm all for that.
See?
I'm down for that.
See? Yang says, I guess my question was more like, how do we become that trench coat wearing guy behind the high school that enticed Gen Z who have never played TTRPGs into playing this? That's all we can do, Yang. My advice on this at this point is actually go to your friendly local game stores, look at your people who are playing 5th edition, and offer to give them a different experience with something else. I mean, I don't care if it's Vampire the Masquerade or something else. I mean, my finest moment was I went to a gaming table where they played Pathfinder 1st edition so much that they were bored with it and they knew all the tricks and trades and everything else. So I decided, why don't I run Vampire the Masquerade V20 edition for this group? And, most of them pretty well enjoyed it. But the one guy at the table who asked me, where do I get a copy of that book? Because I want to run this for my cousins. That was my win. So,
yeah, and I would say too that you got to get out of your comfort zone too. If you want, if that's something that you're passionate about, that you really want to do, if you want to expose more players to expand the hobby, so to speak, to get them into different games, you got to step out of your comfort zone and you got to stop walking up with D&D but. This is D&D but we changed, it's D&D 3.5, but we changed some of the rules and just modified things to clean it up a bit and called it Pathfinder. This is D&D, but this is old school D&D, but it was, a different version of 2nd edition that Gary really liked that's called Castles and Crusades. This is what the original C2E was supposed to be. As Professor DM would say, are you rolling a D20 and looking for a high number? Congratulations, you're playing D&D. I would say if you want to expand the hobby is the goal, if I'm rolling D20 and going high, half of the people I'm talking to, bare minimum, are going to say, yeah, that game's pretty cool, but why am I going to play that when I can do basically the same thing with D&D? I'm more familiar with it. It's not as hard to find. But if I get them a D100 and say roll low with bonus die in a really spooky game that has no classes and all skills, that is something totally different.
Call of Cthulhu.
But it means that I have to get off my lazy ass, go buy Call of Cthulhu, and learn how to play something that isn't D&D but.
Well, the other thing you don't want to make the mistake of doing is fighting against the current, because as we've kind of talked about, there is a growing momentum and current that's building around Shadowdark. I would say best thing to do is go where the water is pooling up. Yeah, is that where all the momentum is going? That's where I would tell anyone who's out here making RPG supplements to go and try to make something for it.
That's also true, because the fact of the matter is a game dies without support. I mean, because you can name a half a dozen games out there which are all really, really cool, really, really fun, really, really awesome, but they have very little support even from their own publisher. So they never hit their momentum. They never hit their stride. They never get the big attention or anything else, you know? But then you have stuff like Shadow Dark, which it hit with a big splash. Everybody is making stuff for it left, right, and center. So there is always plenty of stuff that you could incorporate, steal, or otherwise, you know, put into your Shadow Dark game to make it fun. Kind of like I kept pointing out on Saturday with Chubby Funster. It's like, if nothing else, I can take his vampire game that he's making for Shadow Dark and steal stuff from it and use the tables and everything else to incorporate into my regular Shadow Dark campaign. I mean, that's the beauty of it.
And when all else fails, just use a bear and then maybe add in a new funny attack and call it a totally different creature.
Yeah.
They'll never know.
Yeah. Or
Shadow Dark needs one more big push. Like she's already had the two big. She's already had the two. We'll use Kickstarters as an example because it's really easy to measure. She's had two. She needs one more big Kickstarter because in restaurants there's a thing called the 3 visit principle. You make a permanent customer by getting somebody to eat at your restaurant 3 times. So a smart marketing ploy is first time they come in, manager goes over and says, "Hey, how about I get you a dessert on your next visit? Here's a coupon for a free dessert." Second time you come in, when you get that free dessert and they turn in the free dessert card, the server knows to tell the manager who comes in and goes, "Oh, did you like the dessert? Awesome. Tell you what, bring a friend next time. Here's a buy one, get one card." And then he comes back a third time, brings his friend. The friend gets a, "Hey, this is your first time here. Here's your free dessert card." You got your buy one, get one, and you have now made that person show up at your restaurant 3 times and made them a customer. Same thing with Shadow Dark. She got you to buy in twice. She gets bought in a third time, and Shadow Dark is going to be maybe not at the same level, but it'll be a Pathfinder, a Call of Cthulhu, a Traveler that has staying power. And that goes where it ties back to what you were saying. Support is key. I got my game out. My game is out. I worked so hard on it. I put it out. Okay? You got me in your restaurant to buy your 1-year game. What are you doing to make me come back a second and third time? You didn't even have a second and third time.
Yeah, you got it exactly right.
Also, with Shadow Dark being a hot new property that has all this attention on it, there's a whole lot of room for supplements that are coming that need to be filling all those niches. Who's put out the big great book of Halloween horrors for Shadow Dark? I don't know yet.
Somebody will. Somebody will make supplements for all this stuff, because where there is a, nature abhors a vacuum, and the same thing goes with D&D and with any other kind of TTRPG product. If people want to see it, somebody will make it, and they may not be super big, gold and silver sellers on DTRPG, but somebody will make that thing, and then somebody will try to get it run into a game. Then you'll kind of end up with the old D&D syndrome where it's like, oh, new book dropped. I want to bring in this new stuff that, unbalances the game. But anyway.
What is it we learned in video games? Well, a lot of us learned in video games. People like me learned it in, school and from Ayn Rand. The invisible hand of the market. It guides everything. Market abhors the vacuum.
Yes, it does. And speaking of market abhorring a vacuum, I want to show something off for the panel today. I will probably have to pull it after this show. So I will show it again on Saturday, because I also want to get Grimm's reaction to this. But this just dropped. I'm excited about it. I want to see what you guys think. So let me put this up. And no. You play Helldivers. I play the Forever War.
And it just got a trailer today for Halo.
Well, maybe I'll buy into it. Like I said, I'm still playing the Forever Winter, and all their DLC and drop downs and stuff like that are free so far. But no. What I saw today. Let me find it. I download this stuff and then I can't find it. Here we go. Y'all ready? Okay. Like I said, this will
show folder.
no. Once again, this will probably not be. They'll probably copyright claim me for this, for the music or the scene or whatever, or just because Amazon's a dick. But I'll show it to you now, and I'll erase it later if I have to.
Someone you hate.
She's back. She's back. Now, personally, I don't really necessarily think of her as like hyper attractive, but she's not bad looking. I mean,
At least she's not Bella Ramsey.
God, yes.
Doesn't matter. She's believable.
Yeah, that's true.
Oh, what a great question.
This guy pretty much steals the whole damn show right here every time he's on.
Yep.
It doesn't matter what show he's in. Walton Goggins just chews the scenery up.
He does. And he's so good at it. And instantly once people see Las Vegas, Fallout New Vegas, yeah! That's why they did this.
Well, my first thought was, okay, cool. How are they going to fuck it up?
Yeah. I love that they did stuff like that. I mean, this looks like it's straight out of the game. I love it.
Is it Dane Domino coming up?
Hey.
Yep. Victor is there. Of course, everybody's like, Victor! I am so glad they got Justin Theroux to play Mr. House. Obviously, this is pre-war, before he, had himself turned into a vegetable, basically, with a brain hooked up to a computer. But
that's my boy right there. I'm just sad that Renee Bergeron ain't around to play him on screen.
Yeah, Renee would have been great, but yeah, unfortunately, he passed away. But I'm glad they got Justin Theroux.
We lost a lot of people
out of Fallout 1.
What?
Do you think they're going to go into that stuff with Fallout 1?
What do you mean Fallout 1?
I mean, turn him to like the vegetable like spaghetti monster.
Well, I'm sure they'll go into some of that in this. I mean, the whole season is basically supposed to be geared around New Vegas, so I imagine there'll be a point at which they'll have to confront, House as he currently is. But but like I said, this is obviously pre-war. So I personally would like to see the Brotherhood go against Caesar's Legion, but I don't know. I'm kind of wondering if this is not going to be in the past as well. Or are they actually, what's their Fallout New Vegas canon? Did Caesar's Legion actually win?
There's, no, they don't have to win. There was a succession, because it mentions it in the game that there's a succession plan.
Yeah. So obviously they're not going to have Caesar, and they're not going to have Linnaeus.
Linnaeus.
Yeah, Linnaeus. So I don't know who it's going to be in charge of it now, but I would have figured the Legion would have dissolved after. But anyway. Dinky the dinosaur! I love it. Dinky the dinosaur's in this. Novak! I'm so excited again. It doesn't really look like the Novak I remember or just played through last night, but still, I'm so happy we got Dinky the dinosaur in it. But that's the thing. I'm worried that they're trying way too hard to cram too many things that players love into this series. But I can't help it. I ate the bait totally, and I really want to see more, and I'm so excited.
Well, the scene before this one is Operation Alaska, because that's where he's up in Alaska during the war.
Yeah, that's right. That was Operation Alaska from Fallout 3.
Yep.
T-shirt. The problem is you're too much of a fan.
Yeah. I guess I am. I mean, Go ahead.
I think New Vegas has enough big visual background set pieces, like Dinky, like the Lucky 38, that kind of thing, that they can get away with a bunch of member berries that they can't really screw up. And they can have member berries in every single episode that they can't possibly screw up because they're just set pieces.
True.
And could trigger all the nostalgia and all the I got to show up because I get those stupid ass rockets that you had to get that had the fuel in them, and all that kind of stuff. That stuff can be in there without being. I mean, how can you screw that up? It's like, hey, what's this rocket toy thing? And snatch it out of her hand and be like, put that down. It's radioactive.
Uh huh. Yep.
I think that's a red scorpion you just blew up.
Was it? Oh, probably.
Maybe.
But she. Yeah, at least it wasn't Cazadors. God, I hate those things.
Piss on Cazadors. Eat up so much of my 10mm ammo with that damn submachine gun.
Uh huh. They are tough as shit. I do too. You have to use AP rounds to take that, and you've got to use AP rounds on the damn death claws too.
Well,
You don't need AP rounds on the Cazadors. You just use automatic weapons, and you start off using bats to target their wings so that they flop around on the ground.
Yeah. Well, they could still kill you. But,
except I'm playing a melee character in the current playthrough I'm doing, the Tale of Two Wastelands.
Mm-hmm.
I'm in New Vegas, and I am scared to death to go over there.
I started another New Vegas run, but I have the randomizer, so my character's stats are randomized, and the location of items is randomized. And so sometimes I'm fighting bad guys who are carrying around, like a light in the darkness or something else, getting my ass killed.
I'm the loser over here who, instead of replaying Fallout New Vegas, which is objectively superior, I'm replaying Fallout 3, and I decided I was going to run through and actually just play the game as a lawful evil character and run it by that alignment.
Hey, Fallout 3 is still good. If I had the ability to play it and mod it, I would play the hell out of it because I miss it so much. It's still my favorite Fallout game.
Well, that's
New Vegas is way better.
That's what Tale of Two Wastelands is. It's a giant mod that lets you start in Fallout 3 using the New Vegas engine and play all the way through Fallout 3 and then get on a train and go to Vegas.
New Vegas. Yeah.
I would do that. I would do that all day long.
Yeah. I never got it to work, so I don't know. I got to figure out how to get it to work.
I'll send you a link to a video that's flawless on how to get it to work.
Oh, sweet. I will definitely watch it. But anyway, we're over time. But yeah, I wanted to get you guys' reaction to that trailer, which I'll probably end up having to take down. But still, I'm excited, man. Good things are coming, and I believe that is a good thing. I mean, I hope they can keep the momentum up from season 1, because I got to admit that last episode was really kind of rushed. But I'm excited. So I want to see more Walt Goggins.
What I think they need to do is.
Huh?
What were you going to say, Daniel?
I was just saying I haven't been disappointed by it. There's a lot of people who, and you get this with all different kinds of series and stuff. A lot of people want to nitpick and complain. I'm like, look, you got a decent story that fits the world and fits the theme. It feels like Fallout. It sounds like Fallout. And it's not garbage. Just shut up and be happy before you end up getting what Star Wars got.
Yeah. What were you going to say, Hunter?
I think if they're going to bring back like House, the Legion, I'd be interested to see if they bring in Joshua Graham.
God, everybody wants Joshua Graham.
It's like I think if they somehow decide to mess it all up, Joshua Graham appears on that screen, completely covered in bandages. I will take back any bad thing I've said about Fallout.
Oh, I mean,
No, they're going to bring back Ulysses.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. I figured they'd bring back Ulysses first.
I hate that character, but Joshua Graham, man, Joshua Graham was just. They have to have the actual voice actor dub the guy, because the actual voice actor doesn't look very much like Joshua Graham, but they have to get him to voice act him. And
yeah,
then,
he's white, straight, and Christian adjacent. He's never coming back.
I know. Far be it from, a modern Amazon series to actually have a Christian Mormon character on the screen, but fuck it. I hope they do. Oh, and by the way, I just found something that Ironcaster will probably go and cream himself over. Let me put the screen on real quick before we leave.
Should I go get the lube?
You should get the lube, buddy.
Turn your camera off.
Are you ready? Are you ready? Here we go. He-Man and the Masters of the Universe Dragon Pearl of Destruction from Limited Run Games. Coming soon.
Yeah, it was limited run games.
Yeah, but look at it. It's Golden Axe, dude. It's
Is that a
straight up.
side scroller beat 'em up?
Yes,
Yeah,
it's
it is.
gold. Look at it. It's Golden Axe.
I was thinking the TMNT arcade game.
It's
That's
Golden,
Golden
Axe.
Axe too.
Yes, it is Golden Axe.
Now, the big thing that's going to matter with this is whether or not it's also going to be available on Steam.
I imagine so. It's all consoles and Steam.
Yeah, you're definitely right though. That's definitely you definitely get a reaction out of that one. How's it go? I have the boner.
I'm not going to tell you how many quarters I blew on Golden Axe or how many times I played it on the Sega Genesis, but Golden Axe definitely gets my attention. In fact, you mentioned Golden Axe to most of the old guys like Dungeon Delver and all the other guys. They'll sit up and take notice. Oh yeah, look at that. There we go.
Yeah, my wife got me these.
Nice. Hey, I remember him.
Have initiative, yeah, man.
Remember, you can't spell advertisements without semen between the tits. Until we meet again.
All right, gents. We've dropped some positive things tonight, along with some of the negatives. Let's close her out, shall we?
Sure.
All right. From all of us here at the Weekend Geek, thank you very much for hanging out with us, and we hope to see you on Saturday when we will have Grim on to say what he thinks of the new Fallout trailer. Because I'm really curious what he thinks, because he liked it too.
Not everybody.
Then,